Mm. You gotta drop the jump. What's good with y'all? Hey, what's good with y'all? It's the Thawahgabar. I'm in the house. This is Black Authentic Truth. We live. And what I'm going to go into is a couple of things. I got about 4 different topics I'm going to go into. Number 1 right now is Easter, right? I wonder how many Black people, brown people are celebrating Easter right now. Got their kids at the church trying to find eggs, Easter egg hunt, and spent money on alligator shoes and Steve Harvey suits and dresses and things that you're only gonna wear one time, and not really understanding why you even following it, why you even celebrate Easter. Like Easter is like all of the holidays. They're all the same. There's no difference between any of the holidays. We literally have not created any holiday. Now they say Juneteenth is a holiday, right? And it's based on Black people in the West in Texas being freed, or first hearing that we were free. But in reality, there's nothing that we actually do that is something that is strictly something that we created and that is our own, and that hasn't been in some way, shape, or form taken from our oppressor. Right? Because you have a lot of people that will say, what's the issue? What's the issue with, okay, I understand holidays. I understand that the holidays was given to us by our oppressor, but what is the issue with people like you, me, the Wagabara? What is the issue with, what the Israelites say, what the ISUPK says? What is the issue with brothers that have such a problem with Black people celebrating these holidays? The issue is that you don't know that you are still mentally and spiritually in chains. Case in point, many Black people will say, well, why does it matter? I can celebrate. This is supposed to be a good time. This is a time where I can enjoy and take advantage of being with my loved ones and my family. So what is your problem against that? I don't have a problem with that. The problem is that we only do it when it is convenient, and when it is convenient is when our oppressor or America has these holidays set up, usually on a Sunday, a Monday, usually Sundays and Mondays. So you have all of that opportunity. You have 364 days in the year to create something when you get together with your family members. It doesn't have to be the holiday that was given to you. Our ancestors were forced. They didn't have no choice. I won't even say our ancestors was forced. I'll just say they didn't have no choice. I mean, what choice do you actually have in celebrating a holiday versus working 16 hours a day on a plantation? Any break that you get, you're going to take. You're going to take that break. I mean, I hope I'm talking to somebody. I hope somebody gets it, right? Hey, shalom to both of y'all, brothers. Good. Listen. Our ancestors didn't have any choice. If you working 16 hours a day on a plantation in humid weather, in cold weather, in hot, searing, scorching weather, anytime you got a break, you would take it. You would take advantage of that break. Of course you would. So it's not, isn't it like, how can I say this? We wasn't forced, but we would take advantage. We would take advantage. And so as time went on, we started to do it over and over again. And then it became a part of us, a part of our community, a part of our immediate families, passed down generation and generation and generation. And we're at this point now where so much information is coming out that we have to come to grips with, okay, maybe now I could change my ways. Maybe now I don't have to celebrate. I don't have to spend all this money on this holiday and that holiday because now I see the foundation of it. Now I realize why my ancestors did it. And okay, they had no choice, or they, it was a part of American society, and they were the people who had to follow along. But now I don't have to follow along. Now I don't have to care. Now I don't have to put the energy into buying presents and buying baskets and eggs and outfits. I know when I was growing up, we would all Easter was a time when you knew you was gonna get an outfit. You gonna get a little fresh outfit for the springtime. We in Southern California, so usually it'd be like I remember getting short sets, you know. You'll get an outfit for the springtime. You go have an Easter egg hunt. Usually it would be at the church, and that was Easter. That's what I saw about Easter. Of course, the chocolate as a kid, you wanted that chocolate, you know. But other than that, what does, like, they say that it's about Resurrection Sunday. Um, they say it's about Christ. They say it's about a lot of things. But what does bunnies and eggs have to do with Christ? Somebody that's watching, got a couple of people in here. What does bunnies and eggs have to do with Christ for all the Black Christians? Because the Black Christians are staunch on serving Christ, being, a good Christian, doing all the things. I got news flash for you. When it comes to Easter, the people of the Bible didn't celebrate Easter. And you have to do your due diligence and search that out, though. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for nothing. Go search it out and then come back and prove me wrong. Go search these things out and then come back and prove me wrong. Go, like, I get a lot of people because I got those Russian icon videos, and I made a recent one, and then I just did that live last week where I brought out Veranet Monastery, and in Veranet Monastery you have the image of Christ. You have Judgment Day, where you see uh, a Black Christ, you see a river of blood, and you see Caucasian Caucasian people being taken to that river of blood. And I have people that come and say, well, these paintings were done a long time ago. I had a guy say, I'm currently studying iconography, icons, Russian icons. I'm in that discipline. And over time, the paint varnishes and it gets darker. And no one wants to admit that the people of antiquity were dark-skinned people. But so they'll say, well, the paint gets darker over time. Well, my question is, well, why is it only their faces, their face and their skin? Why the blues and the reds and the whites and the greens ain't got dark? Why the whole thing ain't dark? But nobody wants to accept it. So I would say, well, go and research who was in these places during the time periods that we're talking about. The same as I'm saying with Easter or anything else, anything that somebody tells you that you're doing that is wrong, and the reasons they say it is wrong because of the origins, then it's up to you to go search it out. Well, I know a lot of us don't care because a person with a slave mind, they just want a day off. They just want to be off. They just want to be able to get high, to eat, and to kick back. That's what our ancestors wanted. I can't blame our ancestors because they wasn't able to go into a library. They didn't have the World Wide Web. They didn't have an internet. So I can't blame them for not knowing no better, but I do blame this generation of Black folks that refuse to study, refuse to look into the history of their people, and would rather just say, you know what? It's a time when I can get together with my family instead of realizing that you're locked into a slave mentality. That gamer honesty '06, rabbits don't even lay eggs. I never understood it. Right. Rabbits don't lay eggs. Rabbits don't lay eggs. And what you're witnessing is indoctrination, and you have people under the guise of Easter, and the colors are happy colors, springtime colors, the pinks, the light pink, the light blue, the light yellow, under the guise of a happy thing. In the resurrection of Christ, you're actually worshiping something more ancient than you would ever know, which is fertility goddesses, because the eggs have to do with fertility. Also, the rabbits have to do with fertility. Different ancient groups such as the Egyptians and the Babylonians worship gods and goddesses that were about fertility, about having babies and the land being fertile. So they prayed to these pagan gods in order for the land to grow crops and in order to reproduce. Rabbits are a symbol of reproduction because like rabbits can reproduce very fast, very fast. That's why rabbits are seen as a symbol of fertility, or the symbol of a god or an idol. So really, that's it when it comes to Easter. I'm sure our people are enjoying themselves, but at the call, but to the discredit to our ancestors, because our ancestors could not break up out of that only because they weren't allowed to. You had our ancestors that they had their eyes burnt out for picking up the Bible, for picking up a book. They used to go hide out in the woods and pray and do things that they couldn't do. They didn't have libraries. They couldn't just walk inside of a library. But this generation, we can. You can get you a library card and you can go straight to a library and you can open as many books as you want to open. You know what I mean? You rather scroll on your phone and watch BS all day doing this. That's what you rather do. I mean, you got a damn computer at the tip of your hands, at your fingertips. This is a computer, basically. I grew up during the time when it went from computers to smartphones, but you got a computer in your hand now. It used to be you had a computer on a desk. Now you got it within your fingertips, so you could just look up something. And you still have Black people that don't know, that will argue somebody like me down and say, well, this is why I do it X, Y, and Z. That, I don't ever get to spend time with my family. Like I said before, where I first started, you could basically make up a day. Just make up something for you and your family. Y'all ain't seen each other in a long time. Make a day up. Make a day where y'all going to get together so everybody can put it down on their schedule and everybody will, be able to make time for that particular date. I mean, it's that simple. But yeah, and just the idea of because when I was on my way here, this is our school in Southern California. When I was on my way here, I seen a family and everybody had on lavender purple. Even the father, he had on a purple suit with a black leather jacket. And I said, damn, like it'll have a grown man that's masculine dressing feminine, wearing pink and wearing lavender purple. And what is the other color? Canary yellow, a whole outfit. When really we shouldn't even be doing it anymore. We have to accept the fact that what we got from our ancestors, from our grandmothers, great grandmothers, great grandfathers, that was passed down, they didn't know any better, but now we got the opportunity to know better, right? So I got a few videos. So I'm gonna talk about this is one video with I don't know if everybody familiar with Skin Bone. A lot of people are not familiar with Skin Bone. Skin Bone is pretty talented. He's funny. He's got a whole little team, and he's talking about how Facebook has basically stolen $25 from him. So I'm gonna play that video. So just give me a second. I'm gonna play this video. I got it queued up.
That shit, it ain't it no more. Like, it's not.
Got it over.
What's going on? It's your boy Big Gucci Skin Bone, man. I just wanted to hop on here and let y'all know, man. If y'all trying to make a living off this internet shit, it ain't it no more. Like, it's not it. You be up and you get up and they do something to bring you down. Every time I drop a viral video, they either take it down or they go 3 years back on my page and find something that don't follow the community guidelines to the point where I can't make no money for 90 days. Motherfucker took $25,000 from me. So I'm just letting y'all know to just invest y'all money into stuff outside of this internet shit, because this internet shit ain't it no more. I literally posted the I Ain't Fresh video on Facebook, on my second Facebook page. That shit hit 3 million views and they deleted the whole page. Like, not the video, they deleted the whole page. So, like, this Facebook and Instagram shit ain't it no more. And that's coming from a nigga who lifestyle is that. So, invest your money into other shit other than this Instagram shit, because this shit weak.
So what Skin Bone is saying is basically he posted a video, it got 3 million views, and then they took the video down. They took the video down, and this happens a lot. He's not the only creator, social media creator, that has had this happen to him. A lot of the big names this is happening to, especially in our community. Now, this is the thing. This has happened to me. My whole page has been taken from me. This is the thing, though. He doesn't really post content that people would find offensive. It's usually content that is comedic in nature. It's funny videos. When you have current situations that happen, he will make a skit. And it's pretty creative how he comes up with his skits. And he has a whole team. I think one of them is Uncle Hank, which is funny. They're pretty funny. Uncle Hank, and I can't remember the rest of them. It's about 5 or 6 of them that, you know, do different comedic type videos. But he's saying, like, now they're targeting him, and a lot of people are saying this, like, when we start to make a lot of money on this social media app or these platforms, they're now looking at brothers and sisters and finding ways to demonetize them and take away their bread. Now, the funny thing is about all of this is that they'll demonetize brothers like this, but there's all kind of sexual, naked images and videos of sisters and women all over the internet, and they don't take those videos down. And you know this is not happening to white creators. This is only happening to black creators, where they don't get the love, and or they losing a lot of money, where Facebook is, in all the, not just Facebook, but these other platforms, YouTube as well, is generating billions of dollars off of the skills, the talents, just the energy of black folk. And black folk are not seeing none of that money. These big corporations are seeing all of that money. So what is the solution here? The solution is for us to have our own apps. That's the only way where we could actually be safe from our videos being taken down and from us not getting our just due, because it's not easy making videos. I've made plenty of videos, and I've seen there's plenty of brothers and sisters that have made thousands of videos that put a lot of time and effort and work into what they do. Whatever the category may be, whether it be comedy, whether it just be, basic stuff, whether it be history, whatever it is, it's not easy. It is not easy to do a video. Then you have to chop it up and edit it, and you have to push it. That is not an easy task. It's damn near like a job. If you don't have an actual love for what you do, which I do have, I have a love for what I do. I didn't get into making my videos because I wanted to get paid. I got into making my videos because I seen that it was people that appreciated what I was doing, so it made me do it more. But it was something that was already in me. I already liked history. I already was making videos about history just because. Had nothing to do with one day I could be this multimillionaire. Okay. And so the brothers and sisters that do this thing, they need to be appreciated. So the only way to actually fully be appreciated, and for people like Skin Bone and other content creators to actually get their just due and, get the revenue that they deserve for the work that they putting in and the talent that they have, is for us to have our own app. Now I know of one app that's fan base, right? Fan base is ran by a brother. And for the most part, what I understand is fan base will actually, you actually get, I think, 100% of the revenue. I might be messing it up, but it's far more than what you would get from a platform like Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. So that's what I think should happen with Black people, that Black content creators that actually have big giant platforms. He's talking about 3 million videos, man. That's crazy. That is crazy. I had a video about the Muse brothers, and this was years ago. This is in 2019, where my brother Thawahgabar called me one day and was like, "You see your video? It's going crazy." I said, "What?" He said, "Man, it's got 4 million views." I had a video that actually had 4 million views, and it was just on a humbug. It was just like, it was random, but I wasn't doing it for that. So it was a good feeling, but I didn't realize that you could actually get paid, when your videos do those type of numbers. Like Skin Bone, I'm sure when he drops a video and it's something that's a high profile story, say like right now in the Black community, what is Diddy? What else? What other stories we have? Right now, I can only think of Diddy right now. That's a high profile story, but he makes a skit and everybody wants to see it. And so like that I Ain't Fresh. I don't know if y'all familiar with that video. It's a brother that has on like a light blue striped polo tee, and he has on light blue jeans with some light blue and white New Balance. And a girl is saying that I guess there's a couple of girls saying that he's not fresh. They got him on camera saying he ain't fresh. And he's like, "I ain't fresh." So I haven't actually seen the skit he's talking about, but that's the type of energy he come with. He hop right on the current events and he flip it into a comedic skit, and it goes crazy. It goes viral. So yeah, but in conclusion, the solution to this is for us as Black people to come together and make our own apps or design our own apps where now we can advertise and we don't have to worry about get our videos getting taken down. Like somebody like me, like the ISUPK, like Brothers That Speak Truth. You can say what you want to say and not have to worry about community standards, because if it's truth, and somebody going to want to watch it, right? So that's all I got on that. Now, this next video that I want to bring up, this is with an Asian woman. Let me get it.
Asian Americans were redlined from opening businesses in white neighborhoods because white people didn't want Asian Americans operating in their neighborhoods and didn't want Asian Americans profiting off of white people. But because the positionality of Asian Americans is weaponized to oppress black people, Asian Americans were being given loans to open businesses in black communities, even though black people were not able to receive loans to open businesses in their own communities. And as I've said before, as a result of this, black wealth is essentially paid out twice when it goes to Asian American businesses. Once when the individual pays for the goods or services, and then again when the Asian American business owner removes the profit from the community. Because usually people open businesses in their own communities, and this is mutually beneficial, where the business owner is making a livelihood off of providing goods and services to their community, and by being a member of the community, they're contributing and they're investing back into the community. This is an ideal situation, and that is not what happens with Asian American businesses operating in black communities. Yes, this is really...
Now, we all know this to be true. We know that when you look at black communities, traditionally, especially here out in Southern California, traditionally, it's Asian Americans that run the donut shops, the liquor stores. What else? The beauty supplies. That's the big one. Traditionally, I've seen Asians running. Well, out here they run the cleaners where you go put your clothes to get pressed, right? This is something that we have always known. And it also goes back to what she said about the money. We're paying the money out twice because our money goes to them. We spend our money with them, and then they spend their money with their people. They don't spend their money in our community. Now, she was talking about the business loans where they could not have these business loans to open up businesses in white communities, but they could have these loans to open up the businesses in the black community. And from the outside looking in, a lot of people will say, well, black people are the problem because why haven't you opened up a business in your community? I see Arabs open up business in the black community. I see East Indians open up convenience stores and motels in the black community. I've seen Africans open up businesses in the black community. I've seen all of these people who are not from America be able to open up a business in the black community, but why haven't you opened up a business in your own community? Well, here you're hearing it from firsthand from an Asian woman who has seen it firsthand. Now, we've been saying this for the longest, but there are plenty of people that could attest to this. Now, on the flip side, you have black people that say, you're playing the victim card by even bringing this up. You are not a victim. Stop playing the victim card. Stop acting like a black person can't open a business. Sure, a black woman can open a business. Sure, a black man can open a business. But the loops and obstacles they have to go through is unprecedented. It's more than these other nations. The loops that we got to go through. Everything that has to be in line, the extras that we have to do. I knew this sister, and she still has the beauty supply today. But at the time I was living by the beauty supply, it was a little strip mall. And this is a black woman that had her beauty supply. And she flat out said that when she goes to get her products, she has to go through Asians to get her products. And there are products like high-end products, the things that black people are buying the most, that black people want the most from the beauty supply store. They would not sell it to her. They would only sell those certain products to their people. That's 100% true. They would only sell certain products to their people. Now she could get, wholesale deals and on, basic stuff, but the most popular hair care items, the shampoos, the edge controls and stuff, they would only sell to their people. So they have a monopoly on the whole beauty supply game. I think it was greatly demonstrated in what was the documentary Bad Hair? I think it was Bad Hair by Chris Rock. There's a documentary. Go look it up. Somebody put in the chat, put in the comments if you see this video later. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but it's a documentary on the hair care business that Chris Rock did. And Asians have a monopoly on that. They have a monopoly on the beauty of a black woman, or just hair care in the black community. They have a monopoly on it, literally. And so people will say, well, you are making an excuse. Y'all can open up a business. Yes, black people can open up a business today. But it's similar to saying that if you have two water hoses, one being all the other people and the other water hose being black people, and they're both flowing out freely, then with the black one, you squeeze it a little bit and you constrict it to where water is getting out, but not all the water is coming out, but water is still getting through. It's the same in the black community. It's the same with black people. We have the ability to do everything in this earth, whatever we want to do. You want to go to college, you want to be a business owner, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a pilot, whatever you want to do, we do have the ability to do that, but it's constricted. You get what I'm saying? It's constricted, the things we want to do. Case in point, y'all know the story. Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union that services veterans, military, and other people. This credit union was found to be discriminating against black applicants for home loans. That's in 2023. I think it was 23, but we're in 24 now. That's when the story cracked. This type of discrimination is still happening to today. Now, can a black person own a home? Of course they can own a home, but not at the rate that other nations can, because we still suffer. We're still at the whims of racial discrimination. So you know how racial discrimination will never work or won't exist? If on applications it just says human. If your ID just says human. A lot of times people say race doesn't exist. We live in a post-racial society where race is not a factor anymore. It's about you. Well, if that's the case, why you got to put your race on all forms and applications you write on and you apply for? If that's the case, why we still have to put our race on our identification cards if we're just all human and race doesn't exist? I was talking about that story the other day with Candace Owens, talking about the black man this, the black family this, the black that. Then when she was asked about her white husband, she said, I didn't see race when I got with my husband. I don't see a race when I think about him. See, some people live in a fantasy world and some people live in the world of reality. And the reality is that black people can do whatever they want to do, but you still have barriers. You still have landmines, and you still have obstacles that you have to get through in order to get there. The problem is that some of us, when we get there, we act like we're the first Negro to do it. We get there and stand on the mountain and look down at all black people and say, well, I did it. Why can't you do it? I put my bootstraps up. Why can't you pull your boot? Nigga, you're one out of a million. You're fortunate. Good for you. But don't forget about the struggles that maybe you didn't have to go through. Some people get a straight green light through everything. And then some people have to make stops, a couple of them, before they can get to that goal that they want. But she's bringing it out though. Like, these different races are given loans, are able to prosper within our communities. And that also is a shame to black people and black leaders that wanted to come together with people that didn't want you to come together. Because I'm sure y'all remember the civil rights movement when we did the sit-ins and we sat in these places and we wanted to be a part of this idea of America that was better than the black communities, the black towns that we had, like Black Wall Street, like Allensworth, California, like Slocum, Texas, like Rosewood. You know, we thought that this would be better, but now when we look back, we see that we're not allowed to get in. When you look at the unemployment rate really hasn't changed since the 70s, the gap between black people and white people. So these statistics don't lie. These things don't lie about the facts that we don't live in a post-racial society where race does not matter anymore. And all you got to do is try hard and work hard and stop being a victim and just do your best. You know what I'm saying? Right. That gamer honesty is always about race. It's always about race. If you're going to say that this is not about race, then you're out of your mind. You're insane. Now I want to talk about this sister, Maud Callan. I don't know if brothers and sisters ever heard of Maud Callan. A lot of our heroes are not celebrated like they should be celebrated, especially now. We need to look back and see the brothers and sisters that came before us that were exceptional people. Okay. Because I've said this before, the generations before us were better than us. I'll say that even when it comes to brothers and sisters that were in slavery and getting out of slavery, they were better than us. They were more robust. They were more galvanized. They were more together, and they knew what they had to do, and they knew who didn't like them. And they worked hard to be successful and to be self-sufficient. So with that being said, I want to talk about this sister. This is Maud Callan. Okay. Maud E. Callan was born November 8th, 1898 in Quincy, Florida, one of 13 sisters who was born to Harrison and Amanda Daniel. She was orphaned at the age of 6. Her uncle, Dr. William J. Gunn, the first Black physician in Tallahassee, Florida, took her in and raised her. Often, he would allow her to help with his patients. This is where she would get her inspiration to go into the nursing field. She was educated at the St. Michael's and All Angels Perry Ocho schools, studied at the Georgia Infirmary in Savannah, one of the first hospitals to train Black nurses. She received nurse and midwife training, attaining a nursing degree from the Tuskegee Institute. She also attended Florida A&M University. After graduating, she married her husband, William Dewar Cobb Callan. And in 1923, she was offered a position as a temporary medical missionary at a church in Pineville, Berkeley County, South Carolina. She and her husband decided to move there, but Pineville was not like Florida. It was a remote place surrounded by plantations. The residents, many of whom were former slaves, lived in tar shacks lit by oil lamps with no electricity at the edge of Hellhole Swamp, a large still body of water surrounded by flies and mosquitoes. Hellhole was a place of immense poverty and desolation. The residents could not afford necessities such as food, clothing, and medical care. They had no telephones, cars, trains, or buses. They had to travel by wagon or buggy to the nearest town, which was 10 miles away. The closest hospital was miles away in Monk's Corner, the county seat, but doctors refused to travel to Hellhole Swamp. Callan understood the urgent need of a forgotten people. She then opened a clinic out of her home, miles from any hospital. There, she cared for the sick, performed yearly checkups, and delivered babies. She then She then decided to go directly to the residents of Hellhole, which was not easy, being that it was hard to get to. It was it was 400 square miles of thick brush and trees crossed with muddy roads. Once the road ended, she would have to walk the rest of the way, carrying her bag and trekking through branches and brambles to reach the residents. It was said that she drove 36,000 miles a year making visits to the residents. The residents called her the angel in twilight because the lamp she carried would break through the darkness of the forest. On her routine visits, she fed residents, gave out clothing, taught them how to read and write, and taught women pre and postnatal care. She served as a doctor, dietitian, psychologist, and bailer to the community. She often worked 16-hour days, earning about $225 a month. In 1951, Life magazine sent W. Eugene Smith, a world renowned photojournalist, to document Callan. He spent 6 weeks observing her action. Pictured here, in one of the pictures, an elderly man is shown moved to tears because of the tender kindness Maud had treated him with. When Time magazine published the work in on December 3rd, 1951, more than $20,000 in unsolicited donations was raised, allowing Callan to build the Maud Callan Clinic in Pineville, which she operated until her retirement in 1971. After retiring, she convinced the county to run a senior citizen nutrition program out of the clinic. Maud Callan, at the age of 85, voluntarily oversaw and managed a program which delivered food to seniors 5 days a week, also providing transportation for those who needed it. She delivered 50 meals a week personally to seniors, mostly younger than her. So this sister right here is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And these are some of her accomplishments. In 1981, she was awarded Outstanding Order South Carolinian. Also in 81, Order of the Palmetto by Governor Richard W. Riley. In 1983, she was featured in a segment On the Road with Charles Kuralt. In 1983 also, she got an honorary Doctor of Humanities degree from Clemson University to honor her for serving the people of Pineville, who she birthed, nursed, comforted, and sometimes clothed and fed, and even taught to read. That's just some of her thing. There's countless awards and acknowledgments she has gotten. And I'll end with this. She is quoted as having said, let me start over. She is quoted as having said on turning down an invitation from President Ronald Reagan to visit the White House, "You can't just call me up and ask me to be somewhere. I got to do my job." So she was called up by the president at the time and she couldn't go. She said, "You can't just call me up because I got to do my job." So her service, what she was doing was more important than going to meet the president of the United States. Okay, let me keep reading. In her great service, it is said that she delivered 800 babies and trained 400 midwives. She died at her home in Pineville on January 25th, 1990, and was buried in the White Cemetery near St. Stephen. Maud's most famous quote is, "Let me live in my house by the side of the road and be a friend to men." And she was a friend to so many. A great and remarkable mother, a counselor, and a comforter to the hopeless, who dedicated her life to her people, full of compassion, an angel in the twilight. This is the story of Maud Callan. Now, could you imagine that? These are the type of people we need to talk about, our ancestors we need to remind people of, especially in this generation. This sister dedicated her life to her people who were forgotten about. And we're talking about former slaves that lived far off, miles away from any hospital or any help or aid, struggle with getting food, struggle with Medicare. And she took it upon herself to build a clinic nearby to be able to service her people. Now, that's the type of that is the type of Black woman and the type of Black men that we need in our community. We need brothers and sisters that with the expertise, the training, the skill set to say, you know what? I'm going to go to the hood today. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm going to take some time off. The time that I do go off, I do have off. I'm going to go and visit my people and see where the need is and how can I help, because I have these skills and I have this ability, because nobody else is going to do it. That's the mindset of Black people before this generation, this current generation and the last generation. Black people were better. They really cared about other folks, and they seen the need, and they knew that the government, the oppressor, nobody was going to fill in that void and do it. So they took the stance to do it. It says she was a dietitian, a counselor, a psychiatrist. She delivered, hundreds of babies. That is a real mother to her community. And that's real greatness. A lot of times we look at these celebrities and we look at these people that in the limelight and say that they are great. They're just exhibiting a talent. A real skill set and a real love and real greatness is seeing somebody like Maud Callan walk through the swamps at night with a lamp to get to a community that was underserved and to help brothers and sisters. And not only that, teach women how to, birth babies, how to be midwives. That is just spectacular. And that is something that we are lacking in the identity of Black people today. We're definitely lacking that. We're lacking brothers. This is about Maud Callan. This is a woman, but this applies to brothers too. This applies to men, Black men with skills, Black men that you're a lawyer. You're a lawyer and you done went to law school and you have this level of intelligence and power in that community. Why not go and help some brothers who are obviously innocent and help them with their case? You're a doctor, you're a dentist. Go to the hood and put some fillings in some kids' teeth. And some go educate brothers and sisters in the hood. Bring some pamphlets, some brochures. Now, this sister went and she got all of those skills out of Tuskegee Institute, Florida A&M University, and she didn't go to a hospital. She went and created a clinic to go and serve her people who are poor and underserved, that's the same way here in America today. In this day and age, Black people ain't rich. Ain't nobody rich out here. We need healthcare. Black people need all of those ends to meet in our community. We need all the ends to meet, and we'll take help wherever we can get it from. But it's such a beautiful thing when a sister of that caliber or a brother of that caliber decides to say, you know what, I'm going to use this to help my people. So this is all I have for y'all on this episode. I'll be back next Sunday with some more heat, another Black authentic truth story that we can go break down and analyze and get some nuggets of information and truth from. With that, you already know what it is. I'll probably see y'all next Wednesday, right? I think I'll go live next Wednesday. before I actually do a class, and we'll have something new. There's always something current. And with that, you already know what it is. It's Black Authentic Truth. Thank you for watching.